Welcome to my YouTube channel, Dreamify Animation. Today, we bring you a story written in starlight and sorrow, a journey that begins after Earth's final breath and stretches across the remnants of a forgotten galaxy. This is a tale of discovery, of grief, of remembrance, and of love. Earth is gone. No lights, no orbit, no echo of civilization. Long ago, the planet we once called home was devoured by time and conflict. Its oceans dried, its skies burned, and its stories faded into the cold stillness of space. The galaxy moved on. Civilizations rose and fell. Empires born of stardust crumbled to ash. Only ruins remain, hollowed planets, shattered moons, and the ghosts of extinct species lingering in forgotten memory cores. But not everything was lost. Somewhere in the wreckage of the ancient Orion corridor, deep within the debris field of a collapsed human colony, a small capsule continued to drift, unnoticed, unremarkable, and unstoppable. The capsule held no weapons, no navigation system, no distress signal. Just a single recorded message, wrapped in a layer of ancient encryption. Inside it was a voice, a child's voice. "My name is Anah. I'm 7. If you're listening to this, that means Earth is really gone. I don't know who you are, or if you can even understand me. But I want to tell you something really important. This is what love is." The capsule had floated for thousands of years, and then, against all odds, someone heard it. A child, but not a human one. He was born among the crystal peaks of Virulent Theta, a shattered moon orbiting a dying blue giant. His name was Kari, and he was one of the Valari, an alien race of luminous-skinned beings whose culture was built around order, preservation, and attachment. The Valari believed emotion was a flaw, a noise to be quieted so logic could guide their destiny. But Kari was different. He was born during a solar flare, and the elders believed the energy storm had fractured his neural web. He asked too many questions. He stared at broken things too long. He cried once when a wild sky beast died in front of him, and for that he was declared defective. So Kari was left alone to live in the outer zones of the moon, among the rusted relics of Valari technology, where the ancient forgotten devices drifted silently under the cold glow of binary suns. It was there, while exploring a forbidden debris cluster, that he found the capsule. He touched it, and it awakened. The voice spilled into his mind, wrapped in static and sadness. "Love is when my mum gave me the last blanket, even though she was cold. Love is when my dad carried me on his back, even though he was tired. Love is when my dog wouldn't leave my side when I was sick. Love is when you stay, even if you're scared." Kari didn't know what love was. There was no word for it in the Valari lexicon. But something inside him, something deep and ancient, trembled. The way her voice cracked, the warmth in her words, the longing that wrapped around every sentence. It wasn't just sound. It was a seed that began to bloom in the emptiness of Kari's exile. He listened to the message over and over again, trying to understand the strange human idea. Why would someone give away warmth? Why would they stay if they were afraid? Why sacrifice comfort? He had no answers. But he felt something rising within, a feeling that didn't belong to the Valari way, a calling, and so Kari left his moon. He stole an ancient Star Runner ship from the ruins of the old Valari fleet, a vessel with no weapons, no destination, and only enough power to travel between nearby sectors. But that was enough. He loaded the capsule into the ship's core. He marked it as his compass. He named the vessel Anah's voice, and he set off to find the meaning of love. His journey began on Terali's 9, a broken world caught in permanent twilight, where an extinct race called the Selene once built cities in the clouds. There, among the ruins, Kari found archives etched in light crystal, memories preserved like stained glass. One showed a Solon parent giving their wings to their child during a firestorm, dooming themselves to save the next generation. Love, the recording said, is the surrender of self so that another may fly. Kari copied the phrase and moved on. Next was Kovari Prime, where the surface was littered with shattered monuments and hollowed machines. The AI that once governed the planet still remained, flickering and broken, but barely functional. It spoke in corrupted phrases, repeating one line endlessly. Love is anomaly, illogical, necessary. Love is anomaly, illogical, necessary. Kari stayed for 2 nights, trying to understand. He finally realized the AI had been infected, not by malware, but by memories. The last human who lived there had taught the machine how to miss someone. That was love too. He recorded it and left. On Raina's scar, he found a frozen lake that whispered stories when touched. He placed his fingers on the ice and heard the voice of a girl different from Anah, but still human, singing to someone who never returned. Love is waiting, she said, even if you know they won't come back. Kari waited with her voice for many hours, and then, he continued, across worlds scorched by war, oceans devoured by suns, temples shattered by time, Kari traveled. He met creatures who had forgotten their own faces, machines who longed to dream, and spirits who existed only in music. On each world, he asked the same question, what is love? And each time, he received a new answer. Love is the song my father sang every night, even when his throat was bleeding. Love is when she let me go, so I could live. Love is a scar that never heals, and you never want it to. Love is staying behind, so someone else can make it home. Kari collected them all, but with every answer, more questions arose. If love was sacrifice, why did it hurt? If love was warmth, why was it so often found in ruins? If love was real, why had it not saved Earth? One day, Kari arrived at the edge of known silence, a region of space so vast and empty it was believed to be cursed. No light, no gravity, only echoes. But there, in the dark, was another capsule, smaller, fainter, fragile, and inside it, the final message. Anah again, I hope you're still listening. I hope you haven't given up, because love is when you don't. Even if it's lonely, even if no one believes you, even if you have to carry it alone. If you're hearing this, then love made it. Kari didn't cry. His species had no tears, but something inside him shattered, gently. He wasn't alone anymore. He returned home, but not to the Valari. He found a dead moon at the center of a forgotten solar ring and made it his sanctuary. There, he built a library, not of books, but of voices, holograms, sounds, moments. He called it the Temple of Lost Love. And at the center of it all, he placed the original capsule, Anah's voice beneath a glass dome that shimmered like the sea. Aliens from every species came, not because they understood, but because they felt. The recordings changed them. Some cried for the first time. Some held hands for the first time. Some chose not to go to war, and slowly the universe began to change. Not with blinding light or triumphant fanfare, but softly, like a whispered lullaby from a planet long gone. Kari never returned to his homeworld, but he was no longer alone. He sent new capsules into the stars. Inside them, the stories he had gathered, the words of billions, the truths of 1,000 broken hearts, and at the center of every capsule, Anah's voice. Love is when someone stays, even when they're scared. Somewhere in a galaxy not yet born, a child will hear it, and the journey will begin again. Thank you for watching this original story on Dreamify Animation. If this touched your heart, let us know in the comments, what does love mean to you? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more soul-stirring animated tales from the stars and beyond. Until next time, keep listening, keep remembering, and above all, keep loving, because even after the end, love survives.